Good afternoon, Xoli. In fact, this is not the community. Let me just move out. These are fellow e-hailing drivers, and I understand this is a spot where they usually park their vehicles, and they've seemingly come out in support of these two drivers that were attacked earlier this morning. I actually have the two victims here with me, Xoli, and I want them to relate to us what exactly happened here this morning. What I know for now is that this incident happened at around 8 a.m. this morning, and I'm going to bring them into the conversation. Usondele bhuti mhlawumbe uqale ngokusinika igama usichazele ukuthi kwenzekeni ekseni.
Sanibona igama lami ngumhlengi ngwamfeka into yenzeke ekseni siyapaka lapha ngase KFC just ukuthi silinde ama rights since ke before kwahamba umfowethu ehambe ngalento Uber yabo kodwa ayisebenzisa ubot ngaleso sikhathi so manje besinokugadana yabo lento ukuthi masisindawonye siyakwazi sigadana ukuthi uhamba phi kanjani yabo so besipakile ke vele lapha njengenjwayelo nje la sosha khona imoto so bathi ama taxi owner cela ukuthi sisuka futhi angasicela afikile nje athi asisuke la sibaye khona kwaqhuma induku kwaqhuma isibhamu sabaleka ke khona kusikudubulana nemoto shaya nabafethu into kanjalo nje.
Awuthi mhlambe ngikhulume nomfowenu umpha mhlambe wena ngichazele ukuthi esayidini lakho kwenzekeni ngiya understand ukuthi wena imoto yakho le ela emuva iyona edutshuliwe.
Sanibona igama lami umpha kaMtolo ekseni kade kwabo 8 sesimesifika lapha bengipakile ke mina ngilinde ukuthi imoto iwashwe bese yaqedwa ngihambe ngosebenza kade kwafika ama owner mefika awabuzanga afika nje ngodlame sekuphethwe ikhali sesishawa kuthiwa sukani la yabo ekutheni mina ngigcina sengishawa sengazi nokuthi ngishawelani because bese ngihamba bathi asisuke ngishawe ngiyongena emotweni.
Into ejayelekile iyaqala ukuyenzeka lento le nina ngizwe umfowenu engichazela sifika ukuthi aniqala ukushaya.
Hayi mina kade kokuqala banokuthi njalo bebengihlupha njalo ekseni njalo mengisebenza bangijaha yabo ekugcine sekutheni namhlanje ngoba sebengishayile bangisongela bathi wena sokudubula sokubulala lokho kubeka impilo yami engcupheni ngoba manje sengiyasaba kuyimanje kusasa kuyaphoqa ukuthi angivuki imoto ngiyasaba ngisho nanokuhamba nangayo.
Xoli, I just also perhaps want to bring into the conversation the MEC for Transport spokesperson, Ndabezinhle Sibiya, because they are the ones, that ensured that there's swift action after hearing about this incident. But what measures are in place to deal with the situation? Because it seems as if things are escalating where we thought following the death of another e-hailing driver just recently, that you've managed to quell the situation, but it seems as if it's something that keeps flaring up.
Yeah, no, first and foremost, it's very important that we point out that the MEC for Transport and Human Settlements, Sibonso Duma, has assigned a team from the provincial regulatory entity. There's Operation Chanela there to work with law enforcement officers to ensure that there's peace and stability. That's number one. And number two, you recall that sometime last year, he convened a meeting with the police commissioner, the Lieutenant General Nhlatam Khwanazi, just to look into the whole issue of the public transport system to ensure that there's peace and stability in KwaZulu-Natal, that we have efficient transport system. And he is obviously interacting with the police commissioner so that we don't see the repeat of what we all witnessed in Maponya Mall. We do not want to see something like that happening here in KwaZulu-Natal. That is why he has moved in very swiftly, and we want to assure the people of KwaZulu-Natal that we are working very closely with the KZN E-Hailing Council. The chairperson of the council, Sipho Masombuga, is here. Last week, the MEC mandated his office as well as Ayanda Msweli, the traffic anchor, to meet with the KZN E-Hailing Council. So we are now looking at readying ourselves, for the implementation of the regulations that would, ensure that, the e-hailing drivers are able to operate, without fear, and that there is coexistence, between the e-hailing drivers as well as the taxi drivers.
Ndabezinhle, this is not an isolated incident. I mean, just in the province, in KwaDabeka, there are similar issues that we ourselves have been reporting on, where there's been allegations about the taxi association there giving e-hailing drivers a problem. So are we being reactive, or is this something that you have been working on in the background for a while now, or are we now acting out because these situations are now, coming into the forefront?
Sometime in January this year, the MEC mandated the provincial regulatory entity to have regular meetings with the KZN E-Hailing Council, as well as the representatives of OPA as well as Bolt. So those meetings are sitting every month. So last week the MEC mandated us to have a quick meeting with Santaco. You'll recall that there was a social media post circulating, especially in Klip River Association in Umnambiti, calling on teachers not to take learners to school. So that is why the MEC interacted with Santaco, and we moved in very swiftly. The taxi council, they distanced themselves from that incident. So as we speak, we have that working relationship with the KZN E-Hailing Council, and we are sustaining our interaction. That is why the MEC will be meeting with the council over the next couple of weeks, so that we are able to look into the implementation of the regulations around the e-hailers. You'll recall that sometime last year in June, the president signed the amended National Land Transport Act. So we are looking at the implementation of the regulations, so that we have these youngsters who are trying to make a living, operating freely, and we want to ensure that they are integrated into the entire public transport system. That is what MEC Duma is aiming for.
Thank you very much. That is the spokesperson for the Transport and Human Settlements Department here in the KwaZulu-Natal province, and you heard him there speaking to the fact that they are working in the background to ensure that those regulations around e-hailing services do eventually come to life. Back to you, Goni.